What up, my guys? Welcome back to the channel. Walter Learns to Code here again. And today we are going to be doing this feedback form. I actually started on this forms and tables. Just wanted to get rid of, all this off-screen stuff. Makes it easier for you guys, don't have to sit with the boring stuff with me. And then so we are going to be starting this hotel feedback form, and then probably gonna do this one theory, and then build the final exams table. And then depending on how that goes, right, we might have time to build a book catalog table. And then hopefully at that point, we'll be pretty much done with, it looks like, the forms and tables. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll probably try and get through to this, but it looks like this workshop is going to be pretty lengthy, so that's why I wanted to do this, and then if we can get to here, build the final exam table, we will. So anyways, guys, if you guys like this kind of content, feel free to like, subscribe, and we will get started. So in this workshop, we're going to be practicing working with HTML forms by building a hotel feedback form. For introductory text, you will want to display the main title followed by a short note about leaving feedback. Inside your body element, add a header element. Okay, simple enough. Header. Inside the header element, what's it saying? Add an H1 hotel feedback form. H1. Below that, we're gonna do a P element. P is gonna be thank you. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's actually move it here a little bit more so you guys can see the actual code or the actual form. And then so now it's time to add the main element. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Cool. See that? All right. And then in the previous lessons, you learned how to work with form elements like this. The action attribute is used to specify where the form data should be sent when the form is submitted. The method attribute is used to specify the HTTP method to use when sending the form data. Most common methods are get and post. All right. So inside the main, you're going to add a form. Okay, here we go. I don't know why nothing is like registering again. Okay. All right. Close that. Okay. And then we're going to do for the form, going to have us do a action and a method. So the method, so action is going to be the URL here. We're going to do the method first. Post. Okay. And then we're going to set the action. Action equals. We're going to do this HTTP, this one. All right. And that's all it's requiring for now. Cool. And then inside your form, we're going to do the field sets. Set. You know, I was thinking about it. I'm sort of glad that this doesn't have the autocompletes that I'm used to. Just because I'm sort of forgetting, you know, to do the opening and closing brackets. It's just getting me back into the swing of things. But it is asking that we create a legend now. Okay. And then we're going to do this. We're going to close it. And the reason I was saying that I do like that I have to autocomplete or I have to do everything manually instead of autocompleting is because I do like to get into the habit of, you know, actually writing out the code fully, especially since I am learning it all again. So it's always a good thing. Label. Okay. In the previous lesson, you learned how to associate label with an input like this. So label for name input. Okay. So I think we're gonna do below your legend element, add a label. And I'm just gonna close it real quick. Label. All right. And then we are going to add for equals full name. All right. And then the text is going to say name required. All right. So, bam. Okay. And then I don't think there's anything else. Add an input element with no attributes. Okay. I think why is this in there? Oh, input. Oh wait, it's self-closing. Sorry. With no attributes. Okay. Okay, for your existing input element, add a type and set it to text. Makes sense. Type text. And also give it an ID, attribute, full name. All right. Should be good. Okay. And then we are going to add a name attribute to the input. Okay. Where do I put this? Add a name attribute. Name. Oh, I was, all right. Bam. Okay. For the existing input, place a placeholder. Holder equals example John Doe. Cool. You guys should be able to see that there. Also, add the required. All right. Easy peasy so far. And then we're gonna start by adding a new label. All right. Label for equals email. All right. Label Start by adding a new label element with the text to your form. Email. Copy and paste that. Okay, that passes. I do sort of want to. It sort of looks ugly to me. Here we go. Add an input with the type email. All right. Input type equals email. All right. Email. So add an input with the type of email. Below your email label, the input should have an ID. ID equals, I'm assuming email. Okay. All right. And then also set the name equals email. Pretty straightforward here. Probably give it a placeholder. Holder equals example at email.com. All right, and then we're gonna make this a required. All right, cool. Sort of ugly here, but whatever. I'm not gonna keep redoing it. Input elements can have size attributes. The attribute defines the number of characters that should be visible as the user types into the input. The value of size should be a non-negative integer greater than 0. If the size is not specified or is specified with an invalid value, the input will give the default width set by the browser. Give the name and email inputs a size and a value of 20. Give the name and email. All right. Size equals 20. Just gonna copy and paste that. I think it's just weird that it looks like this. Why did this one turn that way? This one is different. Whatever. Cool. Okay. Start by adding a label with the text age. Okay. Do another label. Age optional. I don't know. 4 equals age. All right, step 13. I think there's like 32 in this one, so it's gonna take us a while now that I'm actually doing it. The min and max attributes are used to set the minimum and maximum values entered in the input label. Below your label, add an input. Okay. Input type equals number. ID equals age. Right. And then the name is going to be set to age. Then min is going to be set to 3. Max is going to be set to 100. Okay. All right. Should be good. That's what we like to see. The section in the form will be responsible for asking users if they have stayed in the hotel before. Start by adding a field set element. Inside the field set element, add a legend with the text, "Was this your first time at our hotel?" Okay. So we're going to do field set. Where's the first field set? Here. Legend. This is why practice is important. I'm forgetting already, and I'm doing it in front of you guys. Was this your first time in our hotel? Funny enough, I just stayed at MGM. Cool. All right. We're gonna do radio buttons now. This example, the radio buttons are grouped together using the same name attribute. This means that only one radio button can be selected at a time. Below your legend, add a radio button with the ID set to yes option and the name set to hotel stay. Okay. Input type goes radio. ID set to yes option, and then the name is to hotel stay. All right. Below your radio button, add a label. Okay. Label. Okay. Below your radio button, add a label element with a text yes. For yes. Yes. Option. Okay. Good. All right. And then this one is going to say no. Pretty much going to be copy pasta. Bam. No option. Hotel stay. It's going to be option labeled. It's going to be no option. Go. Start by adding another field set element. Inside the field set element, add a would you choose our hotel again? Field set. And then legend. Why did you choose the hotel? Okay. Oops. Right in there. There we go. When you want a user to select multiple options from a list, you can use checkboxes. Here's an example of how to work with checkboxes dealing with food items. Okay. Legend, input checkbox, ID pizza, food, pizza. Okay. Below your legend, we are going to add an input. ID equals ads, name, value equals ads, and then name equals choice. Okay, and then type, forgot to type. Close checkbox. Checkbox. And, we're gonna do a label for ads, right? Social me label, and then we're gonna set this to 4 equals ads. Add another one. Okay, we're gonna do another input type. Add another checkbox input, okay, equals checkbox ID equals recommendation. Name equals choice, and then value equals recommendation. We're gonna do another label for equals recommendations. Okay. Then we're just gonna close it right now, and I'll type it in. Personal recommendation. Cool. Step 21. Man, this is pretty long now, just for this lab. I'm gonna readjust my position. So next we're gonna add another check with this. We're gonna add another checkbook, or next add another checkbox input. Okay. Input type checkbox. Location. Oh, I'm getting heartburn. Value equals location, and then the name set to choice. Okay, we do the label now. For equals location. Okay, and then we're gonna create another one for reputation. Below that label, add another checkbox. Okay. Reputation. We're just gonna change this to reputation. label for mutation, close that bracket. Should be good. Okay, cool. And then next we're going to add the checked attribute. So we're going to locate the input here and then just put checked. You see it right here. Cool. All right, for the final input label, we'll do it for price. All right. Okay. We're just gonna give ourselves some space here. Input field set. Oh wait. Type equals checkbox ID equals price, value equals price, name equals choice. Okay, I'm gonna set the label for equals price. Label and you can test out your form. All right, cool. So checkbox that, yes, no, oh, cool. All right. So let's start a new field set. Set. All right. And do another legend. Legend for ratings. Below the legends, we're gonna add a label. Label with how was the service. For equals service. All right. And then start by adding a select element. Okay. And do select. Select. Name equals service. ID equals service. Done. Inside of your select element, there are 5 option elements and the corresponding values. Options. Add the following 5 options. Value equals. I'm just going to copy and paste this 5 times. All right. Bang. Okay. So, option element text. So attributes be poor, satisfactory, okay, good, very good, excellent. Did an extra one here. Don't need you. All right. Poor, satisfactory, good, very good, and then excellent. Okay. You should have an satisfactory. Oh. Is this not? Okay. Inside your select element, add the selected attribute to the option element, the value. I don't get it. To make an option default, you can I'm just gonna delete this. There's like a slight delay, and it's messing with my typing. All right. Okay. So start by adding a label with a text. How is the food? Label. All right. For food. How was below your label. Select. Name equals food. All right. And then we're going to do essentially the same thing, except and then cool. All right, and then add another label. The last section of the form, you will allow users to feedback. Creating a label. label. Other comments. For comments. Cool. And then we're gonna do the text area. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we are going to do the rows, attributes. Wait. Does it say that? Multi-line input controls. Text that is longer than a single line can be created to use in sending messages, or text input that requires multiple lines. All right. The rows attribute is used to specify the visible height of the text area, and the calls attribute is used to specify visible width of the text area. Below your label, add a text area element. And the next, okay. ID equals comments. Name equals comments equals 30 equals 10. Perfect. Okay. And then now you're gonna, for the next and last step, we will add a submit button to the form. Remember, you learn how to work submit buttons in the previous lesson. Add a button element with the type attribute submit. Button type submit. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Oh man, that was a long lab, but it was good. Got to flex it a little bit. So I think we're just gonna leave it off here. I'll go through this tomorrow, and then we're probably just gonna finish off building these two, and we might be able to finish all of this tomorrow. Yeah, depending on this, because this lab isn't gonna be as long as this, so we're gonna be able to get through this pretty quickly, and then we'll start the accessibilities here pretty soon, and then yeah, doesn't look like it's that much either. So yeah, guys, if you guys like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.